You're happy to rep T'Challa, aren't you? I mean, you did click on this video, so we can only presume. But man, the wait for Black Panther content has been insane, hasn't it? And after Wakanda Forever finally drops, who knows when we'll see the franchise next? Well, to help fill the void, today we've got 10 films unrelated to the MCU that we can easily recommend to you if Black Panther is your favorite superhero. You don't want to miss any of these, so be sure to stick around till the end. Let's get started. Hancock, 2008. Morally gray superheroes on screen goes back far beyond the days of The Boys. This one even beat the Watchmen film by a year. Will Smith is the lead here, where he plays Hancock, a misanthrope with little regard for the responsibilities that are supposed to come with the great power. He's one of few superheroes made exclusively for film. No adaptation whatsoever. Admittedly, Hancock and the Black Panther make for two very different superheroes. But that actually only serves to help them complement one another. The stark contrast in their personalities, backstories, and morals means that they give two very distinctive perspectives on what being a superhero means. Regarded as one of the best standalone superhero movies out there, Hancock was perhaps ahead of its time in 2008. It's an entertaining film for sure. Shaft, 2000. Of course, Marvel fans are used to seeing Samuel L. Jackson as the eye patch-wearing mystery man Nick Fury. He really seems to have a habit of playing characters that do some shady things in the name of heroism. Another such example is his role as John Shaft II in the 2000 film that bears the character's name. While it has the same as the 1971 classic, it's actually a sequel to that movie, with the new Shaft being the son of the original, who was played by Richard Roundtree. There is a definite familial bond theme with these films, as Roundtree reprises his 30-year-old role in not only the 2000 film, but the 2019 version as well, where both Jackson and Roundtree return and are joined by a third generation in Jesse T. Usher. What could be more Black Panther-esque than a lineage of heroes like this? Red Tails, 2012. This film tells the tale of the first black military airman, co-written and executive produced by George Lucas. It's an action-packed affair with some dazzling effects. It leans pretty heavily into realism with the aerial maneuvering on display in its dogfighting scenes. Many familiar faces litter the cast as well, including Michael B. Jordan, Terrence Howard, and Neo. With a theme of purpose-driven leadership, fans of Black Panther should appreciate the story of the Tuskegee Airmen who sought to protect their country in their own way. Creed, 2015. Before taking on the film that would go on to redefine the culture, Ryan Coogler had two feature film directorial debuts under his belt, both which starred Michael B. Jordan, the man who of course played Killmonger in Black Panther, a performance that made the villain into a legend. It would seem that the director has a knack for inspiring powerful shows from Jordan, and this is on full display in the film Creed, where he played the lead role. Indeed, Jordan is Adonis Creed, the son of Apollo Creed, who was one of Rocky's greatest friends and rivals before his death at the hands of Ivan Drago. Adonis spends the film trying to honor his family legacy, whilst also figuring out how to be his own man in the process, a story not unlike T'Challa's. This common theming makes it a very solid film to watch for fans of Black Panther. Judas and the Black Messiah, 2021. While we're talking about Ryan Coogler, let's get into another film he had a hand in, as he was co-producer on this title. Before T'Challa feature film came along, whenever someone said Black Panther, the first thing that came to mind would be the controversial but influential Black Panther Party. Judas and the Black Messiah tells the story of the history of the party and its leader, Fred Hampton. Daniel Kaluuya starred as Hampton, and it was one of his most powerful roles to date, earning him what is to date his only Academy Award. Kaluuya serves as another tie to the Black Panther film, the one about the superhero, as he led his talents to the role of W'Kabi. Fans appreciative of a film that celebrates the Black community and helps promote strength within it will no doubt come to love Judas and the Black Messiah for much the same. The 355, 2022. The Dora Milaje are a big part of T'Challa's success. This group of all-female warriors are devoted to their country above all, protecting and serving Wakanda with their life. With its all-female-led cast, the 355 emulates some of that energy. It centers around a group of international intelligence operatives, which, for the record, is a really fancy way of saying spies, who seek to keep a high-tech weapon out of the wrong hands. Like other films on this list, the 355 not only pulls some themes from Black Panther, but some of the people associated with it as well. Lupita Nyong'o, who of course plays Nakia, Black Panther's right-hand woman, naturally plays one of the 355's most brilliant operatives. Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky Barnes in the MCU, spent a few years in Wakanda repenting and rehabilitating, and he too is in the film alongside Jessica Chastain, giving the movie a lot of ties and helping helping it feel all the more complimentary. Remember the Titans 2000. Chadwick Boseman will always be a legend in our hearts, one who credited much of his success to the black actors who came before him, such as Denzel Washington. During Boseman's 2019 AFI Awards speech, he made sure to congratulate Washington on his Lifetime Achievement Award, being quoted as saying, "There is no Black Panther without Denzel Washington." It stands to reason that there are many Denzel Washington films out there that Black Panther fans would love. Remember the Titans is an easy recommendation that's entertainment for all ages, whilst telling a touching and emotional story. Malcolm X, 1992. And while we're on the subject of Denzel, Spike Lee and Denzel Washington make for a magical pairing in Malcolm X, centered around the legendary civil rights activist of the same name. It makes for a sensational biopic, similar to the Black Panther Party, which he actually helped inspire. Malcolm X's methods were controversial, but there's no denying the power that he held and the mark he made on a nation. Washington is perfectly cast in the role, managing to capture the spirit of this very complex figure in a film that goes deep into his personal growth. Casting, collaboration, and execution were the major keys for this and many other films, including Black Panther, of course. In many ways, Malcolm X may feel more akin to Killmonger than T'Challa. But even so, both wanted to see their people prosper, and that was the main thing Malcolm X fought for as well. It's definitely heavier in tone than Black Panther, but fans of the film should appreciate this true-to-life take on protecting one's community. I Am Legend, 2007. Oh look, it's Will Smith again. He was really doing a little bit of everything in the late 2000s. One of his most unique and notable roles comes in the 2007 film I Am Legend. The story sees Smith cast as essentially the last man on Earth, the lone survivor of a plague that turned the rest of humanity into monsters. Fighting against monsters is very much something you'd expect of a superhero, especially when they're humanity's last hope. As was common for Will at the time, he's not playing your standard hero type. He didn't really want to fight these creatures, but like T'Challa, did what he must to protect his people. And by that, I of course mean himself and his dog, which is quite relatably his only friend. 21 Bridges, 2019. Joe and Anthony Russo, the directorial duo behind Avengers Infinity War and its direct sequel Avengers Endgame, also produced this police thriller, and it stars none other than Chadwick Boseman himself. He plays an NYPD detective who has mere hours to track down fleeing criminals. It probably goes without saying that if you love Black Panther, you'd probably like seeing Boseman in a role like this, playing the crime fighter till the end. He's more the street-savvy hardened crusader type in this film, and certainly not one to put on a fancy costume. Still, he brings with him a certain coolness, carrying himself with a confidence that will frequently remind you that it's T'Challa playing this role. Not a problem at all. In fact, it's really quite comforting, and we could think of nothing better suited to close out this list. And that's all the time we have for today. Have you seen any of these films before? If so, are you happy to see them pop up on this list, or do you perhaps disagree with his take on them? Have you discovered any new titles you might be putting on your watch list now? Are there any more films you can think of that you'd recommend for fans of Black Panther? Be sure to let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching.